good though.
What's going on, guys? I'm Aly.
I'm Danny.
And today we have some important stuff to talk about. By important, I mean this is the topic that I decided that I wanted to talk about, which was how we met. But first off, let me preface this by saying, why didn't you guys have a podcast for the past 2 weeks? That's because Danny and I were coerced into going to Colombia for our friend's wedding, and we will not be going back. And that's a different story for a different time.
We could dabble into it a little bit. I mean, so one of my great friends, Jeremy, who we both knew in college, I think one of our closest friends for both of us, he married a Colombian, and her family wanted it to be done, and the wedding, everything be done in Colombia, which I think is kind of ironic because they got like all the paperwork and stuff done here, so they were technically married by the time they already got married there.
Yeah, we were drunk almost every day. It was wild. I do not like to drink like that anymore. That was for the college days, but we were with all of our college friends, so what are we supposed to do? Not fucking show up? We're going to show up every time.
We definitely showed up. But yeah, I felt very uncomfortable the entire trip. The only times I didn't feel like really uncomfortable was when we were in the venues for like the wedding, the rehearsal.
Yeah, because there were like armed guards everywhere.
Yeah, it was weird. It was just weird circumstances the entire time.
Out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, people haggling us and trying to like lure us places. It's just weird. And I'm like Brian Tarvik. They kept calling me like Pablo Escobar with the mustache. Oh, I missed the show. And they were constantly trying to sell me water, cigars, drugs, women. It was just like a nonstop like
wild
harassment. Exhausting.
So now that is over and we're back home.
So happy to be home.
We don't want to leave the house, but we are going to leave the house for a few business trips, which we will make sure we vlog for you guys.
Yes.
But other than what?
August 8th, we're going to be in Indianapolis for Micro Center's opening of the new store. So any of you guys that are listening are from Indianapolis, you can come by on the 8th and you'll be able to hang out with us, talk with us. We're going to pretty much be there all day.
Yeah, and I want to do something nice for someone while we're there. So we'll see.
Oof, iced coffee is where it's at.
All right, we're getting off topic. So Danny and I are going to tell you guys, this is important to us. Well, at least me.
So we just wanted to touch upon a little bit how we met. I know the basic story was there, but I think it's important for you guys to understand who we thought we were going to be at this point in our lives. You know, when I was coming out of college, like, where was I going to be in 5 to 6 years? Like, I never thought this is where I would be.
This is true.
But everything kind of changed. We kind of went with the flow, I think.
Dude. Back it on up. Let's talk about how we met. So Danny and I have been together for 7 years coming November 11th.
Yes.
We met in college. We both went to Seton Hall University. Mm-hmm. My major was criminal justice.
And mine was social behavioral sciences and a minor in sociology. But I had all the requirements to go to PT school if I chose to. Gotcha.
So we met at a college party playing beer pong. He played soccer.
So I went to Seton Hall. I got recruited to go and play soccer there. It was a dream school for me because my grandfather used to coach there. And I spent pretty much most of my childhood there, which was really cool. And then, it was pretty awesome.
We talked before this podcast episode. We were like, we said, don't say like and don't say but again. But now you're saying instead of your like.
I'm trying to avoid all
I know, you're doing good, but don't replace it with
Regardless.
Nice.
Another transition.
Regardless.
You know? I used to be there all the time.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. And it was a school that I really wanted to go play at. I had options to go play elsewhere, but I really wanted to go to Seton Hall. I went into my freshman year with a torn ACL. If you guys didn't know, I'm like injury prone. I have 2 torn ACLs, MCLs, partial meniscus, broke my leg twice, titanium rod from my knee to my ankle. All of that happened even prior to going to college. So I came into college with a torn ACL. So I redshirted my freshman year. Thank God, because academically, I was not ready. The high school I went to was like extremely easy. I didn't have to like try it all. I went to a public high school, Union High. Shout out to Farmers. And I didn't have to try it all. It was very easy academically. And then I showed up to college, and I was like, I didn't learn any of this stuff that you expect me to know.
That's so funny.
So I spent literally the entire first year in study hall. Thank God for academic perks or athletic perks. I literally had a tutor for every class, and I sat there until I understood everything, and then I was caught up, and then after that I was chilling.
Nice. So I was always shit at school. I went to a very good school, I would have to say, where we had all the tools that we needed to be successful. And unfortunately, those tools just weren't like, it didn't register properly in my head. I was awful at math. I'm dyslexic. I have ADHD. So I was always in slow math. And then when I got to college, I was in slow math again to the point where that math didn't even count as credit towards
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like a
by college.
prerequisite
It's
class.
so
Yeah.
fucked up. So I don't think I was a good student because I couldn't process everything. I don't know.
You don't think it was because of all your partying?
Shut the fuck up. I was talking about in high school, before high school.
You don't think it was because of all the partying?
Well, I did skip class a lot. Okay. But besides the point, I was going to go to school for track and field. I was getting recruited looking at whatever schools.
Aly's fast as fuck.
Fast as fuck, boy. And then I was like, I can't do school and I can't do athletics. I got to pick one. And basically, I was like, I'm not waking up at 4 in the fucking morning doing this because I'm not a morning person. So I was like, F it. My parents I'm from New Jersey, and they were like, I do not want you going far. They're super protective of me. I'm the only girl. So I had 2 choices, Seton Hall and Monmouth University, and I picked Seton Hall, and that is where I met Daniello.
Yes. So you were in what year when you met me?
I
Because
was 2014.
That means
So I graduated 2014
I was
in high
a
school.
junior, technically, but a sophomore soccer player.
I guess.
Because I think, yeah.
I
think
met
we
you my sophomore year.
Yeah, but it was I don't know, because did you see me play 2 seasons or 1 season?
2.
Because
But no, so tell them the first time that we met. The first time we met was freshman year when I moved in.
oh
because
my Jesus, God almighty, what a terrifying day. So as athletes at Seton Hall, we have this tradition that when the freshmen are moving in, because we're already on campus, we're doing our thing, we're full like practicing double sessions, like
yeah.
we're season starts like just before like school starts, and so as a tradition, all sports, no matter what, would help people like freshmen move into their dorms.
So I just so happened to get the whole entire men's soccer team
Yeah,
moving
we would
me
just
in.
literally walk up to a car and take all of their stuff as like a 20-man
Yeah.
like roster and walk it all up to the room and like save their parents like hours and hours of work. We would just literally just back and forth.
So my dad was moving me in, and my dad's like a 6'2" giant man who was a retired cop, like
massive.
and I guess it would be better for you to tell it from your point of view because I didn't realize.
So like, guys being guys, we were just like, going along with the, oh, I can't believe I have to do this. Like, well, I just want to go back to the locker room, blah, blah. And then a pickup pulls up, like, okay, we'll just pick that car. And then you step out, we're like, ooh, wait, we got some potential over here, And then like, as like all of us are kind of like making our like odds and ends comments, and we're picking up our shit and getting it going. There again, she's not really hearing us or any of the person dropping.
I wasn't even looking their way.
We
to
literally
be honest.
say what room, and we just grab your shit and go. But like we lingered for a little bit, and next thing you know, her pops like slides out of the fucking seat,
towering over all of you.
Yeah, because we're all like bent down, like picking up boxes. Is any of you fucking guys mess with my daughter? You're gonna have to fucking deal with me. And we all just were like, and just
and I was
right
just
to the
like,
door.
Whatever.
Yeah, and we were so scared. We're just like, did he hear us? Did he hear the things we were saying? Like all these things, like this is not good. Like this guy was scary, man. He put the fear in us, man. I don't know. It was like we were big dudes. We were strong, but like I don't know. It was something about how he said it. Like he meant it.
He did mean it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like you're protecting your daughter. I get it, but like she's gonna do her stuff. She's gonna do her thing when she's in college.
Shut the hell up, Danny.
That's how I see it.
So
but I was like, well, wait, okay, and then we kind of just like stayed away for a little bit, and then little I know, I see her around campus, see her, come to the soccer house for the parties, but like she ended up being like her friend group primarily her and maybe like one other person in a friend group were like really close with like our team and the girl soccer team. And whenever we would have like get-togethers, we would pretty much at some points just invite like the athletes over to our houses because like we didn't want to get out of hand. We didn't want to like get in trouble.
So I
We didn't
got the
wanna-
invite to all the athletes'
and
parties.
she just got the invite, like the small, like outside of sports, but like still wanted to like hang out. It was a good time, you know?
Yeah. So me and my friends had this pact because Danny was, in my opinion, the most beautiful person I've ever seen, still is, on campus.
Even
Chick
with the belly.
magnet. Everyone wanted Danny.
I
and
was that guy though.
my friends, all of us were like, oh my God, if you get the chance to talk to Danny Bartok, no one interrupts. Like whoever he picks, he picks. And so my friends would go talk to him. You know, he give him the time of day. No one interrupt. But when I went to go talk to him, everyone would freaking interrupt me and like cut me off. And I was like, F this. I'm not going to keep playing these games. Like you guys can have. I'm not going to go fight over this dude. So I was trying to be a good friend and like hook my friends up with him at this point. And we ended up getting an invite to your house.
Yeah, because I was like,
Oh,
I
wait,
really
wait, wait.
wanna
Was
get-
this before or after the beer pong thing? I don't know.
That was after, way after.
Okay. So Danny, that was
I
the night
knew-
before. That was the
That
night
was the
before,
night before.
actually.
So, yeah, so it was interesting
So we were playing
Because-
beer pong at the party.
at the soccer house. And the way we were going to work it at that party was that you had to be a boy-girl teams.
Yes.
So it was like a way, it was like an icebreaker, you know, people to get to meet people, play with each other, blah, blah, blah. And I knew right from the beginning, Aly was just pure buckets. Like she was the girl. If like, and I was good at beer pong, and I was like,
were
if we're gonna
really
run
good.
tables, like we needed to like team up. So I just looked at her, I was like, you want to like?
And I was like looking around.
I was like, no,
me?
like, you, yes, come
And
on.
I was like, hi, I'm Aly. You know,
I was like, I knew who you were. You don't have to introduce. We knew each other beforehand.
we didn't though.
But,
That
like-
was like the first time. I was like, I said I've like seen you around, but I've never had the balls to say hi to you. But like,
I always.
this is for us formally meeting. I
Nah.
did some shit like that.
And then we yeah, I was just like, why are you saying like I know who you are? But like it's
But, like-
weird. But like regardless, I was like, let's run tables, and we ran tables the entire night.
Like, actually.
I know like how you could think that the story changes over the last 6-7 years, but I swear to God, you can ask anyone at that party, they'll still remember it to this day. Jeremy, who just went to Columbia, anyone would be like, don't ask George though.
Nah, George's an asshole.
George is an asshole. He'll deny it until it goes until.
George won't even be there and he'll deny it and
Yeah,
say
true.
he saw it.
But we love George. Regardless, it was a really good time. I got to actually like meet her and talk to her and like actually like get to know her, and she was just as cool as I thought she was. Like because again, she was getting all these invites to the soccer house. She had to be like decent human being, you know.
I had to be a decent human being.
No,
Thanks.
because we don't like we didn't invite people. We literally would not let people in if we knew they were like assholes.
You
Like,
weren't as douchey as I thought you were, but you were still douchey. Your level
I
of
knew I had it, Aly.
your level of douchery that was talked about
I-
was way worse than what you actually are. I was just willing to put up with a little bit because I was like, I see right through it.
So regardless, the following day,
Used regardless twice this time.
regardless.
Regardless.
The following day, that party ended. Boom, boom, boom. It was nice meeting you. Now we're on like a high basis.
well,
the
I
whole
think
deal.
you invited me to McDonald's. And I was like, fuck yeah, I love McDonald's.
I was like, fuck yeah. We always had like a DD that night. Like at nights, like after we were done drinking, that would drive us to like the nearest McDonald's. We
Uh-huh.
would pick up a shit ton of food, bring it back to the house, and just chow down. And I was like, you want to come? And she was like, fuck yeah, I want to come.
I
was
love
like, Hell
McDonald's.
yeah. And I was like, we both liked it, McDonald's. We both were on the same vibe. We were
Uh-huh.
like, it was like everything was working. And that night was done, finished. We both went our ways. And then the next day, I think you tried, that was when you tried to come over with your buddy, your friend. Buddy, it's a girl.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, your friend, and try to
Oh my
still
gosh.
like hook her up with me.
I didn't know you were.
Regardless, I had my boy, Juan.
Yeah.
Right? My boy Juan. He was staying in my living room at the time because he just didn't have anywhere else to stay. And so he was staying in my living room at my apartment at the time. And he was like, I'll be your wingman, bro. We have like
And I
drinks
was
here,
there
some
with my
beers.
friend. I was like, I'll be your wingman.
Yeah, and
So
then
we were both
we
wingmanning.
were sitting on the couch, other people sitting in the chairs around this table. We started playing some like drinking games and hanging out. And then next thing you know, like they sit next to us, and I'm sitting next to Aly's friend, and Aly is sitting next to Juan, and me and Juan look at each other. We're like, "This ain't happening."
And me and my friend are like,
yeah,
doing
and I was
good,
like,
we
"This is
got
the
this."
last thing I want is her friend." And no offense to your friend,
just don't worry about it.
no, I got.
Stop. Well, keep going. So then they go to the kitchen. They go to the kitchen and they come back, and Danny's
Yeah, I
sitting
was like,
next to
"Hey,
me.
Juan, you want to like help me with the let's get like the
What did you
the
guys say
beers
in
and
that
stuff."
kitchen?
I was like, "What the fuck are you sitting there?" I was like, "Do they not get that? Like, I want to talk to Aly, and like you were here just to like talk to."
No idea. Still to this day,
like,
no idea.
I just went right back into the room. I sit next to Aly. Juan sat next to her friend. And at that point, I just put my hand on Aly's leg, like joking, like talking to her.
And I was
then
like,
she was like,
oh, fuck.
I was like, yeah, like I want to talk to you. And then at that point, it was
we kind of
just
like hit it off and whatever. We ended up staying the night because we got drunk, but nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Literally just slept in my bed.
And I think we dipped out. We dipped out early.
Yeah.
Before you guys could get
I was like,
our
why?
number or my number, but you guys already had my other friend's number, and then
Yeah.
you texted me asking for my number.
I was like, you
texted her asking for my number, and she gave it to you, and then you texted me, and I was like, hey, what's up? What are you doing tonight? You completely ignored me that night. And when I saw you later, I walked into the house. I was like, why the fuck did you ignore my text? And you were like, I did it in front of all of your friends.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I felt bad because I was like, you're right. Like I shouldn't have.
I think I just put you every time like you did something.
Oh, she put me on the spot.
I just was like, why'd you do that? I don't know what
I
got
was a
into
dick,
me.
though. Like I was a little bit of like I just wanted to like live my life in college. I was just kind of doing my thing. You know?
I think people for so long let you just get away with the shit that you were doing.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, nah, that's dumb. Why'd you do that, huh?
Yeah.
And I would just say it. I had no filter.
Yeah.
And I say it
that's why
anywhere
all my
and everywhere.
friends loved her so much was because like she would just tell me how it is and like literally just rip me a new one. Not like being mean, but like call me out on shit. And no one really called me out on it. Was just like Danny's being Danny, you know?
Yeah.
And then Aly, and then I was like, you're right. And then the next day I was like, Aly, you want to go to Chipotle? And then next thing you know, we go to Chipotle.
His
and it was just me
entire
and her.
team's there.
And then I had no idea.
His entire team is
I
there.
had no idea. I was just like, I wonder, like, let's just go to Chipotle. And I show up, and my entire team's there, and I just show up with Aly. And they're all like, Danny doesn't normally do this. Like, what's going on here? And then next thing you know, little by little, I was like, this could be something. And then the old Danny came into play and was like, nah, man, I'm not done fucking around doing my thing. And then that made Aly pretty angry.
Yeah.
She said, I don't think I've ever been told off worse than Aly telling me off that I was like,
I wasn't that mean. I just said like,
Aly,
you fucked up. You're going to regret it. You're a dumbass.
No. You said some things. And I was like, whoa.
Well, you already knew I was crazy by then.
You a crazy ass bitch. 100%. 100%.
So
But I was like, you know, pros and the cons, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And then like, you know,
I was mad because I knew Danny was endgame for me. I don't know why. You just meet someone and you're like, damn, this is it.
I was
and
like,
I think
holy shit, this is amazing. But I was like, wait, am I done with
we're
that?
so young. We are so young. I was 19 by the time I was like, I meet you and I'm like, holy fuck, this is my person. Don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
I was a little older though. I was just like, is this really gonna be my thing? And then I'm thinking like,
you were 21, maybe 22.
exactly. I'm going out. I'm going to the clubs. I'm going to Hobo. I'm going to New York. I'm going to all these things. And then I'm like you're what, 19, almost turned 20 at the time. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, do I really want to like do this? You know, I'm like, every time I'm going out, like she's not gonna be there, and like all these things, like all these things are going through my head. I'm like, nah,
that's a valid point. Didn't think about that.
And I'm like, maybe I just chill, do my own thing, right?
Yeah.
And then like, you know, we'll go from there. And then I started doing my thing again, and and then she told me how she felt, blah blah. All my buddies, like George, Jeremy, are like, dude, like you're being stupid right now.
And so the most distinct thing I remember was like, I can't give you what you're looking for right now. And I said, I was like, okay, that's fine, but I know you're gonna regret it, and I'm the person for you.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, you know.
Ooh.
It only took me like,
What was it, like 3-4 months?
2.5, 3 months, maybe. And I was just like, yeah, I'm done with this shit. Like, I need to go back to like where I'm comfortable and I need to talk to Aly again. And then at that point, I remember I was like, how am I gonna like talk to Aly? She didn't give a fuck about me. She maybe did, but like she's playing off like she didn't, because like I like
At least
kinda,
it worked. Yeah.
yeah. And then I was just like, what do I say here? You know, like what do I do? And the next thing you know, I'm in Germany visiting my good friend Sammy, and it was just like, again, he was my roommate in the US. He came, played, and then he was like, look, come to my house, we'll stay, I'll show you around Germany. Me, George, and went to visit him.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, like with the time difference, you start texting me, and you're like, and I don't know why I'm up at the time, because it doesn't work out. You're like out way too late, and I'm up way too early.
It was like 2 a.m. I was in New York City.
Yeah, and then this is like 6, 7 in the morning for me after a night out. And then I'm getting a text from Aly saying, hey,
I know this is weird.
I know this is weird, but like I had way too much to drink, and I'm like stuck in Hoboken. And I'm like,
no, New York City.
Or New York City. And I'm like, Aly, I'm literally in Germany. I can't help you.
And I was like, I'm so sorry.
But I was like, I can start talking to people and see if I can find someone to come get you. And then she was like, no, it's good. Like, I figured it out. Like, something started working. I'll just take $100 Uber or something. I'm like, oh, okay. Like
I don't know.
I felt bad, but I was like, there's nothing I can do. And then now in my mind, I was like, she texted me, it's over. Like, I'm back in there, you know? She thought of me, you know? And then at that point, I'm just like, fuck it. Like the next day, I'm like, hey, so like, and then is he really like,
yeah, so my point of view is I get a text, hey, and I'm like, oh, this shit's probably a butt dial. I like leave it for a little bit. I'm like, F it, I'm gonna answer. And he's replying quick, and I was like,
yeah, if anyone knows me, you text me, good luck getting response.
Yeah.
But like, you know, when I'm really like, when I was on my game, bang, bang.
You were determined, and then he started FaceTiming me on his trip, and I was like,
great.
what the heck?
It was good stuff.
And then he came back from Germany. He's like, you want to hang out? I was like, yeah, sure. We went bowling, and he's like, Aly, I think I like you. I was like, nah.
Yeah, she played.
Nah.
She was dodging me and shit. I was like, Aly, stop with the act. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, Aly, I know you want to be with me, and I want to be with you.
And I was like, I'm not gonna put myself through that again.
Figure it out.
And then I ended up getting a stomach ache, and he stayed the whole night while I had a stomach ache and took care of me. And I was like, God damn it. If you didn't do that, probably.
It was a hard one, but I knew it was the brownie points.
I didn't know at the time, but like I think that might have been a deal breaker for me.
I was there. I was like, you sure? Sure.
Yeah. You were so dumb, Danny. You still a little bit dumb.
Oh, a little bit. But not the same kind of dumb as I was before.
Yeah.
I was stupid back then. Now I'm just dumb. But regardless, you know, I'm happy it all worked out.
Me too.
I remember like pre-game meals, Aly was making me like salmon and rice and like asparagus, and I was like, this is unheard of. Like, I'm usually going and spending like $30 at a restaurant to get a nice good meal beforehand. I'm going over here. We're going to get the ingredients.
So it's funny.
Like, we were sitting up after the fucking games. We'd go back to her place, watch movies. I was like, this is what I need.
I would be spending like 90% of my paycheck, so I would work after.
I didn't know any of this, by the way. Like, she's like working side gig, doing these things. Like, I'm not going into her financials or anything like that, but she's just like cooking meals, doing something. I was like,
so every day
sheesh.
after school, I would nanny. So I'd scheduled all my classes in a cluster so that I'd be able to nanny after 3 p.m. every day, and then get off by the time it'd be around dinner time. And then I'd still be able to go out at night and do the same thing all the time. So like, I guess no one really knew that I was working.
No idea. I was like, I didn't really like, I knew you were working, but I was like, I don't know, like, he's working, you know, like I wasn't going to like ask too much. Again, this is still somewhat in the beginning. Like, I don't want to be too intrusive.
So
But I had no idea she was spending literally 90% of her paycheck on feeding me, because I was just eating so much.
I would like stop at Chipotle and bring him and his friends bowls and be like, no, it's okay, you don't have to pay me back, which like I don't mind giving.
Yeah,
it's okay.
But I was just like, Aly, if I have it, right, like I'm getting like food stipends and all these things from like school and all these things, and like I'm like, Aly, just, are you sure? And she's like insisting, nah, I'm good. And then once I found out, Like I was like, you're never paying for shit. You're never ever.
I
Like
didn't mind. I still
whenever we
don't
went out
mind.
places, I paid. Whenever we did things, I paid.
No, I would try and
You
pay.
you tried, but like I'm not gonna let you. That's just not like my dad didn't raise me that way. Like it just never would be like that.
I
No
got a-
matter what the situation was,
I
if
got
I
a
ever
few
took
over you.
someone, even a friend out, if it was my idea, or a girl to like a place for food, no shot would they pay. No shot.
Danny.
Regardless.
Oh my God, that's your new fucking favorite word. Every time we ban a
Regardless.
word from this podcast,
Yeah, she's
You
like,
pick a
you
new
can't say
one.
this. I'm like, okay, other filler word. What's it gonna be?
yeah. Click on your toes.
Were you saying clicking my toes?
Quick on your toes. Ew. Don't show them that.
Sorry.
So basically, that is just, excuse me. Whoa. The story of Danny and Aly and how we met.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, but it all worked out in the end. I'm happy. We've been together for 7 years now, engaged, no plans for a wedding, but when we do, it'll probably be in New Jersey because that's where the majority of our family is.
Yeah.
But that'll take some planning. But when we do, it's gonna be like nothing crazy. I have this thing in my mind about how I want to do it.
Yeah.
It will be live streamed. Just throwing it out there. It will be live streamed.
Okay.
But like we wouldn't be as responsive. Like we're not going to be like looking chat, but it'll be like an overview of the whole venue.
Yeah.
And it would just be like a live feed so they can watch if they wanted to. And then they would have the sound when
Yeah.
the venue actually happened. Because there's a lot of people that I would call like family and friends at this point that I've met through gaming, through streaming, that I wouldn't expect to take the trip. Because again, what we're doing is not going to be like this huge event. It was just going to be like
I guess
a backyard barbecue pool venue thing. And for people to fly out for that, it won't be necessary,
Yeah.
But my good friends I'm sure will, but for everyone else I wouldn't expect that. So I wanted to make it accessible for them.
Gotcha. That's smart.
But the question is,
Yeah, I was going to ask.
when you were going to college, when you were coming out, what did you expect where you were going to be? Like when you were graduating college, right? Like if you were someone who's going to ask you where were you going to be in 5 years, what would you be?
So the thing
Because that's about where we're at
there
now.
there was a me before you of what I wanted to be, and there was a me after you and what I wanted to be.
Okay.
So the me before you, I wanted to do something with criminal justice, maybe like a detective or social services. But speaking to some of my family members who are in that work, I realized that I didn't have the stomach for that. I get too emotionally invested in people and take things personal that it just wouldn't be a safe bet for me to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole time I went into college, I was like, I will just figure it out as it goes along. And then once I met Danny, I was willing to do any job, not any job, but like a job that gives me money, whether it's behind a desk or standing on my feet. I was just going to do whatever got me money. Now with Danny and where I saw myself in X amount of years, I thought that I didn't think I'd be doing this, the TikTok thing. No, not a fucking chance.
Neither of us did.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, actually, but I just didn't know. I did not think at any chance it was this.
So I was always like the entrepreneurial guy, like always trying new things. I know I mentioned it a couple times here on stream, but like my dad was always the kind of guy that was like, look, whatever you try, just keep trying it. You'll learn along the way, right? Like there's things that you pick up and you'll learn when you're trying to start a furniture business or a lamp business or whatever. And literally these are things I tried to do while, again, working full time for an aerospace engineering company, eventually moving to their IT department. And that's where I ended up like really making a career out of something, right? And that's not what I went to school for. It was just kind of like who you knew, like good friends here, good friends there. This opportunity comes out, boom, I move. They teach me everything I need to know. It was just like literally amazing opportunity, right? But again, I knew deep down that wasn't where I was going to end up. It was good, consistent money, but I knew it wasn't long term for me, right? And my boss knew that too. My buddy Mike, who gave me the opportunity, that ended up taking over the head guy's position when he retired.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Look, do you want my position? I'll teach you everything you need to know. I know you're a worker. You put the time and effort in. You're local. You could take care of the servers and stuff when no one's around." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever you need." I was the guy. I was literally the only person in the office during COVID for most days when computers were down, people were remoting in. They needed someone there. And it was safe because I was the only one fucking in there. So I learned how to open and close the building and take care of stuff. And this is like ginormous facility. You know what I mean? And it was a good job. It was consistent. It was fun. It was new challenges. It was learning every day. And until like the last year, it really started to take a toll on me because I stopped learning. I fell into this like rut of doing the same kind of work every single day, and it got the most of me.
Sounds like what's going on with us right now.
But a little
we
bit.
have the power to change it ourselves.
Yeah, because we have the ability of trying new things, and we're doing podcasts where we can do vlog stuff. I can do the things I want to do, like go play golf and stream it, and all these things are possibilities,
I did like that when you were playing golf, you were having fun. Nothing. So here's what I have to say. Sorry to cut you off, but when you keep asking me about where I thought I would be and all these things, I don't think about myself at all anymore. I think about you and us, and maybe people see that as a downfall, but
I don't see it as a downfall, but I do feel like you should strive to accomplish your own goals, right? I have our goals, and then I have goals for me personally that I want to accomplish. That it's like my own challenge, right? My own side quest.
I mean, my own side quest is like maybe getting myself in shape, but like something.
But that's okay. That's okay for now, right? Like it's okay to have small goals and these small things. Like you don't need to say, "Oh, I want to be a business owner for this and this." You don't need to have that goal yet. Like
Realistically,
you need to get yourself prepped and ready, and ourselves prepped and ready to then maybe take your own mission. That's fine.
All I want to do at the end of the day is be a mom.
Yeah, I know.
I know that sounds so silly, but I think I was like made to be.
There is nothing more exciting for me to have a kid, right? It was wondering when that was going to happen, right? Like we wanted to be prepped, ready, secure, contract signed, ready to rumble. We got 2 years of income coming in from XXX, XYZ, and it's guaranteed income. Everything we make from TikTok and stream is extra, and that's that.
And we might be at that point. We're waiting on a few things.
We're waiting on a few things.
But we might.
We have a couple things in the works that I'm warming up to a little bit with like kind of like a subathon type of thing.
We're
really
stepping
working
out
on
of
it.
our comfort zone. Maybe people see it as us going back on the things that we said, but we need to adapt to the new situation of content creation, streaming, the world, and we've spent so much time worrying about what people are going to say, what may or may not be correct. I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is that we need to start trying new things and not make it feel like we're being bad by trying new things for ourselves.
100%. And a lot of thinking goes into these decisions as well.
It's not like we're jumping on this podcast thing. It was in the talk for 6 months, maybe a year, to be honest.
Almost a year. I mean, you mentioned it. I was like, I don't know.
My streaming setup,
that was
year.
also when like everybody was doing a podcast, like everybody. And I was like, Aly, we need to be the first people doing something, not like the last people doing something. But then when the idea came about again with the podcast, and HyperX was very nice to send us all the equipment and all the the main stuff we would need for this podcast.
But we're getting what we want out of it. Our viewers are going up. People are learning things about us, learning things for themselves.
People are going to learn today how we met and a little bit more of the background on who we are and all these things. And that's all we can ask for. We need to eventually do a better job of finding new people to watch our podcast.
Yeah.
right now we're informing the pre-existing followers and the people that know about our YouTube already, right? So the hope is to eventually continue to expand, to grow our family, grow our community, and then at that point it's easy for us, right? Because it's not about our audience supporting us in financially. It's again, once you have like that large viewership, that's just consistent viewership, brands will
Yeah.
fund everything for you, you know?
Listen, my goal, I guess I do have a goal. Both of us, we talk about this, is that at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're okay to like, sleep at night, that we don't feel like we did anything wrong, that we can't live. Like, don't do what you wouldn't want done to yourselves. And that's the motto that we live by and still will live by, that we won't,
100%.
do anything wrong as a creator. Like, be like, oh, I'm going to give away a PC, but you have to give me $20 to enter the giveaway.
Fuck that.
Never. Like, I wouldn't be
No.
able to.
No,
That's
like
mean to do to
pretty
people.
much. So
And-
come to think of it,
Yeah.
so again, this subathon thing, we were debating on giving away a PC at the end. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. That's like the big thing. We're going to do
Yeah.
a bunch of things along the way, right? But with this subathon or with this long stream that we're going to be doing, like it's not about the viewers. I don't want it to be about the viewers like spending money or anything like that. And all the giveaways aren't going to be like sub only or anything like that. It's literally just going to be you being in stream. So my
Yeah.
plan personally, again, this might change, don't hold me to it, but my plan is to reset my band-aids. If anyone doesn't know what band-aids are, it's a program that I run separate to all my other programs on my computer, on my streaming computer, that track every person and every username that is in my streams at all times, their actions, their how much they chat, and they give a point value to the amount of time they spend. If they're like VIP or like a subscriber, they do get a increased rate. But if you're just there, being there, you are earning band-aids.
You could tab it up. Like,
And
don't even
yeah,
actually have
it's
to
easy.
be there.
Yeah, exactly. Just your lurkers still get it, the whole thing. You do get added points when you're active in chat and doing these different things. But again, the primary purpose of it is to reward the people that are in my stream and supporting me, not necessarily financially, but just being there.
Yes.
Right. And then I use these band-aids. The reason I call them band-aids, by the way, is I used to be called the Band-Aid Man. That was my first ever name, and I switched it to Danny Bartok when I wanted to do a rebrand. But to keep the OGs happy and to make sure I didn't lose any of that like old me, I kept the currency called the Band-Aids, and that'll never change. And I use those band-aids. You can enter them for tickets into the giveaway. So you can have 1,000. So I'm going to reset these band-aids at the start of the subathon. And then like I'll keep the old ones, right? And I'll repurpose them back in afterwards so
Yeah.
that currency never disappears. But I'm going to reset it for the time being. And at the end of those, whatever, if it's 30 days the stream goes or how long we decide to go, if it does get there, because again, it's, amount of subs and stuff, whatever. We will give away a bunch of stuff along the way, HyperX stuff, powered GPU stuff, just little other giveaways throughout the thing, because we want to give back as much as we're receiving.
Yeah.
Because that's important to us, because without you guys, we're nothing. It's your views on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all these things are what allows us to lock these deals in for brands and the following on TikTok. It's not, again, the money you spend on us, it's just the presence, the comments, all these things. It adds up, and that's really means the world to us.
Yeah.
And then again, on top of it, all the subs, the bits, the financial support, the donations, things, it really helps us plan for the next steps in starting a family, and you being a mom, me being a dad, and all these things really do matter, and we're taking those steps. We're want to have those things happen. Again, it's just these last little final pieces are falling into place, and then we take our next step into our journey of parenthood and also working, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I'm
Yeah.
very excited for it.
I just want to, my next step for content is I want to let them in on our actual lives. I know we've been saying that, but I want to transform into the IRL and show them that we're more than just this gaming thing. Gaming isn't doing it for us. or for me at least.
I am going to grind the shit out of Tarkov.
Well, but I think we have more to offer. I just don't know how to go about things. Again, we're still learning. No one teaches you how to navigate this social media world,
No.
and we're trying to educate you as
We're
much as we
trying-
learn
Yes.
along the way. But it's like fucking really weird, difficult. Times are constantly changing, and you don't know
Yeah.
what the next big thing is that you need to jump on or not jump on. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're learning along the way, and that's, I really wish there was someone doing what we're doing now when we first started, right? We were looking up. I swear to God, I remember like it was
How
yesterday.
to be a Twitch streamer or some shit like that.
No, it was literally what long road trip were we on?
Maine. And you had me
And I was like
typing in.
looking at podcasts. I was like, does someone have any insight? Does someone have like what's going on? Like what's next for me? Like I want to what I want
how
to
to
grow.
navigate content,
I
how
was
to
like,
grow on.
there was nothing, dude. It was
But I
dry.
feel like when you're like how to grow on TikTok, everyone gives you some cliche like,
And then I look at their
you need to
followers
do
and they
this.
don't have a lot of followers. So I'm like, it's not, again, that's not taking away from them or the content they make because it's probably amazing. But like, you can't teach something you haven't accomplished yourself, right? And there's moments now, like right now, we're at a standstill. We're not gaining followers, we're not losing. Well, we are losing followers, but we're gaining followers at the same rate,
Yeah.
right? Because our content has changed and it's normal. It's normal, right? But like, there was a 3-month period we went up 400 500,000 followers.
I know.
And we were just pumping content, right? And it was just working out. It was going good. And
But now I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know what people want to see.
it's next. It's whatever's next. And I don't know. I don't think it's
There's only
as
so
easy.
many times.
I don't think it's as easy to go viral either on TikTok as it was. But again, it's still definitely possible. And I still think it's the best platform if you're just starting.
You have
get
to be
your
super
content in front of-
strategic with whatever you're doing. But I'm a huge person who says like you should not be repetitive. Like how many times can I post me bringing you food and all these things? And you're like, just post it. You say,
No,
"Just
because I
post
keep
it."
trying to tell Aly, I'm like, look, you post a video of you telling everyone about your setup, right? And you're like, oh, check that one off the list. But then you look back, like, okay, that video got to 20,000 people. Oh my God, did well. That's 20,000 people that saw your video. There's billions and billions of people that still haven't seen your shit yet.
Yeah.
What do you want me to not post that same kind of video again? Right?
Yeah.
Post the same type of video with a little bit of a twist or a little change, a different camera angle, whatever. Like you're not reposting the same content. And it's okay to repurpose, right? Like we use old footage all the time, like, oh, this is us a while ago and this is us now. Or like, remember when you said this? Look, it's actually happening. Or, and those are the things.
Shit, that reminds me. We have old drafts on your TikTok
Oh, we have really old drafts on my phone.
that we could do with then and now. And that's what I
100%.
keep forgetting.
But those are the things, right? Like it's okay to tell everyone about like your favorite mic 10 times. You just got to do it in a different way.
This is my favorite mic. This is my favorite mic.
Not like that.
I'm just
but
fucking around.
you have to remember every time you make a video, you're not making it for the people necessarily that are following you. There are posts that you like updates and things like that. But when it comes to content, like make a bunch of the same video, just different ways, and then post them at different times. And then I guarantee, some of them will be seen by the same person multiple times, but that video will have more chances of finding new people that might like you, right?
True.
Like if you have a post that got a lot of people to follow you, make that same post again, and I guarantee more people will follow you because those are the posts that are doing well that make people like you for you, and then they're going to follow you. But it's all about getting new viewers. You're making content for your people that haven't seen you yet.
You know what drives me nuts? 90% of the videos that go viral with us always have a spelling error.
Oh yeah, it's okay. People, we don't do it deliberately, but there's people that make videos that like have like a yellowish liquid in a bottle behind them and shit. So people are like, oh, that's a piss bottle.
Do you want to try that? Do you think that would go viral if we did that for you? Let's put like 3 under the desk, 3 yellow bottles under the desk, and see how that
But
works
again, these little things, do I think it'll work? I don't know. They may not be
try
for
it.
us. But there's a lot of different like creators that like show the PC on the ground and
Okay,
crazy
ready?
wires and all these things to get the comments to say, hey, you can't have your PC on the ground like that. It's not very good for it, blah, blah, blah. And all these tech guys are going to be like, holy shit, I got to let this guy know you can't have the
Yeah.
PC. But all that does is push them in the algorithm. He did it deliberately. His
I have an
PC lives on
idea.
his desk.
I have an idea.
What?
So we fill up 3 bottles that kind of look like pee. Put it,
Phil?
yeah, under your desk.
Okay.
And we catch me going under them and be like, oh my God, the Crystal Light. And I go to open, you're like, no, 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 no. And it just cuts off there
It would be funny. It's funny.
for the assumption.
It's funny. Again, funny. But again, we have to do it in a way that makes it funny, and also not against TOS, because I don't think you can have piss on TOS. I don't know.
It's not piss. It's Crystal Light.
But it's intended like
It's apple juice. No, 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 no. I don't like apple juice. You'd be like, no, 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 no. What? You don't like apple juice?
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
right?
So regardless, these
That's
are little things.
I had to say that because I would forget it.
Yeah, but again, she's gonna watch this back and be like, boom, I told you.
Boo.
But again, these are the things. Oh, I said, but again.
But again,
Shit.
yeah, you said but again like 5 times, but again.
So there are these different things that you can do. I don't know what that was either.
Yeah.
There are different things you can do to kind of finagle your way through getting views and engagement and things like that. And I see it a lot more now than I did. It used to just be like post content, boom, I think this is interesting. Everyone puts their comments, done. Call to actions, things like that, but
I bet
lately,
you if we do a few videos with us mispronouncing words.
happens all the time. Like people really liked your naming stuff videos back in the day for like the NZXT stuff. Like Aly would name the different cases, different stuff.
Yeah.
And like NZXT loved it and like reposted it.
No,
and stuff.
because I'm a firm believer that the tech world is
Stupid.
so dumb. Like why you gotta name something like H91154 zigguratography. Just name it like Blue Cat.
What was that last word?
Zigguratography.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just made it up.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
pretty good one.
Ooh, sounds like a legit word.
Yeah.
But like, I'm thinking, okay, let's take this mic. It's called the Procast. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think honestly, HyperX does a pretty good job keeping things simple. Like
Case.
Cloud 3.
Cloud.
Oh, the next one, Cloud 4, wireless. Boom, dang.
Yeah.
It's great. So it's like they keep it relatively. I don't know the
H951.
No, the
Fuck outta here.
HyperX Armada monitor.
No, I was
don't know
talking
what the
about-
hell Armada is, but okay,
You can't even say that word. Armada.
Armada.
You say Armada. I mean, it's a bit of a tongue twister for us, but that's besides the point. Name your shit, simple stuff, so I can remember it. If you have numbers in it, I probably don't like it. But I'm just one person. But if you
Yes.
want to agree with me, we can maybe do a petition or something. Anyway, so this podcast was about how we met, who we thought we were going to be, and who we are.
Yeah,
Put that in the freaking title.
that's a long ass title, Aly. Short, sweet.
We
son.
met.
No.
We are.
Who?
What, where, when, why? Who the fuck are you?
Who?
Just no,
Who the fuck are you, an owl? What?
type, who the fuck are you?
No.
Danny and Aly. Dude, I would look, be like, who the fuck is Danny and
Yeah,
Aly?
but who the fuck are you? That's
Who the
like
fuck
when they
is
read
us?
it, it's like,
Who the fuck am I? Who the fuck are we?
oh my god,
What's the correct? You know what I'm trying to get off.
I don't know either, but it's not that. Regardless,
Oh
We-
my god.
we are super appreciative of every last one of you guys who have made it this far. If you have any ideas about incentives I should have during our subathon or during or anything that we're possibly of doing, ones that we thought of so far is that like a certain amount of days in, I cut the ends of my mustache off, so it's just a normal mustache. Certain amount of days after that, I shave it completely off. We're doing big giveaways for PC, a bunch of HyperX stuff and things of that sort. But little things like a certain amount of days in, if we make it that far, I cook Aly a meal instead of she cooking
I do
me a
not
meal.
want to eat a meal from you.
No, I'll follow a recipe. It's okay.
Maybe get like HelloFresh or something.
Maybe they can help sponsor it. I don't know.
I don't know. Last time we did an ad for HelloFresh, that shit went dookie.
Did it?
They were so mad.
Yeah.
Not my fault.
No, I thought the video was pretty good. I remember that one.
Not my fault.
But I'm not gonna say regardless.
You just did.
Yeah, but not in the okay. Regardless, We are super excited for the things to come. Super excited to take the next step in our lives. If a couple, again, final things. Are you looking at my toes?
Yeah,
Lady?
do you cut your toes?
Yeah, I do.
You got that shit crooked.
I do my shut.
Because it will fling at you. You gotta shut your eyes. It doesn't happen.
Ally's tired and hungry. I can look in her eyes.
It's every time we do the podcast, you get me at that wrong time. That's because we had to have Tesla come and evaluate the damage on the car. We fucked that shit up.
I didn't. Okay. Thank God I have good insurance. But yeah, we backed into something.
Not we, you.
It was a very silly circumstance. But
Actually, that was not nice for me to say that to you.
we both did.
We both did it.
Yeah, I think we both did it.
Okay, we both take responsibility.
That's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
No hard feelings.
But yeah, so
All in all, I'm happy. Sometimes I get a little bit sad with content creation because you guys are fucking assholes sometimes. And I'm so sick of it.
not the people that are watching this,
Not you guys that are watching it.
but your fellow TikTokies that
You guys
comment
are-
terrible things.
Honestly, this is going to be... You guys are pieces of shit. For
Not
the
you
things-
guys.
No, not you guys watching this. The people that say mean things to me, you're a piece of shit. I had to
came out
say
of
it.
nowhere.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah,
I just
they
thought
are.
about it.
They are a piece of shit. I agree.
And-
but we're just
and
gonna prove them wrong.
You do hurt my feelings. I know it's like, oh, I'm giving them a satisfaction. Yeah, it fucking hurts my feelings, so cut it out, okay?
Yeah.
Tell your parents and email your church again.